Hi everybody. Just going to see if this comes up here on my screen so I can see if there's any comments while I'm going. Okay, so right, here we go. So I'm Francine and I'm here to talk to you about the Picture My Life cards that are in the current catalogue, specifically the stitched together ones. So if you've ever looked through the catalogue and seen these sets of little cards and wondered what they were for, those are called Picture My Life or PML cards. They are actually intended to be used in these divided page protectors. I'm not sure if that shows very well. And they come in 3x4 sizes that you just slip into the pockets, or 4x6 sizes. So you could put a photo, a card, you could do some journaling or whatever and put another photo underneath so that you could add a few more photos to your layouts. But I'm going to show you a way to use these cards that isn't necessarily in these page protectors. So I will go ahead and show you that now. First of all, I thought I would just show you what a set looks like. Hi, Michelle. I don't have an extra set of the stitched together ones because I've actually used them already. So this is an older set from Celebrate Today from the last catalogue that we had. So as I said, the cards come in 3x4 and 4x6. Hi, Katrina. They are landscape on one side, and on the other side they are in portrait mode. So depending on what way you want to put it, you can use either side. And they're generally in different colors on each side as well. So these are the 3x4 ones. As you can see, there's quite a few different selections. And then of course you also get them in 4x6. These are the same, that they're in portrait in one direction and 4x6 landscape in the other direction. So generally when I get a set of cards, because I don't do really very much pocket scrapbooking, I'll go through them and work out which cards I think might go well together, and which ones I might like to use on a layout. So something like this would make a really good title. So I might put that one aside to use as a title, either in the portrait direction or in the landscape direction. Then I might go through and say, wow, I really like that card. What goes with it? Well, maybe that, but that might be a little bit too much color. Perhaps I could do something like that. Maybe that's too pink. No, I don't really like that. Oh, but I like that. So maybe I'll put those two cards together, and then I will perhaps make a card or something like that out of that. So that's my thinking when I first open a pack, and I'll show you then what I did with the stitched together cards. So first of all, I picked out a few cards that I thought would be good for a layout. So I picked this card. I thought that would make a really nice title. Laughter is more fun when shared. And I also really liked this card. It says wonderful. I think actually on the other side it says together in the landscape mode. But I like the wonderful side. And this is actually also a PML card. This is a 4x6 card, and I've just trimmed it down. If you wanted to be really fancy, you could fussy cut out this butterfly and use that as an embellishment, but I thought I used it rather as an embellishment this way. So this is the layout then that I came up with using a combination of photos and PML cards. So that was a really nice way to put some extra embellishments that you don't have to use pattern paper or so, because this was just basically cardstock. Then I made a whole set of cards. So this was just one of the 3x4 cards and a 3x4 card. And I've just put them on one of our envelope bases and then stamped a sentiment on some peach cardstock and matted that on some candy apple for the sentiment. This is another one. It's made out of two cards. This background piece is actually a 4x6 card, which I cut down to 4x4. Then I just took a piece of the lemonade cardstock to make the mat for the card. And I've put this card basically as it was. I have actually a longer video, which I'll put a link to, but it's about 30 minutes, that shows me actually putting all of these cards together. You can see a little bit more what I did. This card had underneath here where the thanks is something like love you, or I can't remember now. But anyway, I didn't want it as a sentiment. So I actually stamped this thanks on a piece of peach cardstock. And then I'm not sure if you can see just here, I just cut a little bit of the around the flower with a craft knife, and I slotted that piece of cardstock underneath there to change the sentiment on that. This actually uses 2 cards as well. This is a 4x6 card, which I cut down to 4 by, I think, 5 1/4. And this was a PML card, which actually just fussy cut out the ladybird that was on it and raised that up, put a sentiment with it. This one, I sort of cheated a little bit. This was a 4x6 card, this background, and these 2 pieces actually come out of that card. So what I did was underneath this 3x4 card, with my craft knife, I just basically cut out around that and then fussy cut them so that they would be neat, and mounted it on top. And again here, I covered whatever was on there before. I think it said love. And I just, on a separate piece of cardstock, I stamped the sentiment hello, and obviously covered up the hole where those 2 pieces came out of. This was a whole PML card, which I just cut down to fit onto the card base. I had one of these rectangle frames in my stash, and it was the right color, sapphire, so I could put it over the top. And then I just added some stamping here with the not honeysuckle, the hummingbird stamp set that we're using today. And I had another little stitched frame rectangle that I stamped the hello onto and raised that up. And I think this one is my favorite. Really simple, just one of the 4x6 cards which I've cut down, put a 3x4 card on top, which I just mounted with a little bit of sapphire cardstock behind it, and then stamped the greeting and put that on with foam tape. So, hi Chris, sorry if I missed you before. So that's just a sample of what you can do with the Picture My Life cards. So some different ideas there, and every set obviously is going to be different. So I encourage you to have a look at PML cards and see what you can come up with. When I save this video, I will put a link to the other longer video if you want to see me actually putting these cards together. Hope you're enjoying your day, ladies. Bye.